Hey guys, it's Jynnette with Alchemy here to give you your astrology forecast for the month of October 2017. I would highly recommend that you take extensive notes, so have pen and paper because there's a lot of information to go through. I am going to give you all of the major aspects happening for the month. And when I say major, I mean all of the major planets and some key asteroids. But if you're wanting to know like all the transits for the moon, it's way too much. So I would suggest either getting your own, how do we call this? Astrology guide that gives you all of the placements for the moon, or get an app or go online to get that if you're doing any kind of magic or spell work or things like that. Anyway, I do want to say if you would like to have your own astrology reading with me, you can book a session at my website, andersonalchemy.com. I have astrology, tarot, and energy healing sessions available either in person or long distance over the phone. And then please follow me on my social media platforms. So Facebook and Instagram, the handle would be at @InnerSunAlchemy. And also sign up for my newsletter because I will keep you up to date with events, classes, and other happenings that I have planned for the coming months. So as I go through all of these dates, one of the things that you can do afterwards is take a look at your personal natal chart and see what houses are going to be affecting you. In order to get that in-depth information, you would need to have your rising sign information, meaning you would need to have your time of birth. If you don't have that, then you can base everything off of your sun sign being the first house. Okay, so let's get started. So what I will say overall is that we pretty much have every planet direct except for Uranus and Neptune. Those guys are still retrograde for the month of October, and also Chiron is retrograde, but all the other major players, so Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, and all the personal planets, they are direct, so that's good. And we also start the month with having the Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter all in Libra. And these planets and luminary have a really beautiful synergy that comes into play for much of the month until they shift into different signs. So that's a great way to kind of start the month. So the first day of the month, we have October 1st, and this is actually what I would consider a really important date. So be sure to mark this down. This is a day that Mars, which is in Virgo, is trining Pluto in Capricorn. So again, I'm calling this a power day because Mars and Pluto have to deal with power. Mars is your personal power and drive and vitality. Pluto is greater systems of power and money in the outside world. And this trine is an energy that is kind of moving things forward. So you can leverage this energy probably over that entire weekend to catapult you forward in any of the goals that you have or to make significant progress. So see where that is showing up in your chart. That's where you're going to see things kind of move ahead and push ahead. On Tuesday, October 3rd, we have Venus, which is in Virgo, trining Pluto. Again, this beautiful trine, meaning the energy is going to be complementary and moving forward. It's energy that you can really activate and leverage. Venus has to do with our money, the things that we value, beauty. Because this isn't an aspect to Pluto, I'm thinking that this is probably going to be something related to money. So you may have some kind of breakthrough happen or some kind of contract come through for you on this day. The next day, on Wednesday, October 4th, we have the Sun in Libra, quincunxing Neptune in Pisces. Now remember, Neptune is still retrograde, so the Sun is going to be the dominant energy here. Now with a quincunx, what it means is it's actually an aspect that is slightly less than an opposition. And if you watch my other videos, you know that I actually really like oppositional energy. But a quincunx is 150 degrees instead of 180. And so what it speaks to is a person's difficulty or opportunity to kind of find a middle ground between these two really different energies. So, if you look at Libra, which is around relationships and the balance between give and take between you and another, and Pisces, which has to do with spirituality, but also healing energy as well too, know that these two areas are not distinct. You don't have to compartmentalize them, and there is a middle ground. So you have an opportunity this day to find a way to push through in that energy. Now, Thursday, October 5th is another important date, so be sure to mark that. This day, Venus is conjuncting Mars in Virgo, and we also have the full moon in Aries, and that's occurring at 11:40 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So whenever Venus and Mars come together, that to me is a beautiful energy of being really at one with yourself, because you have the divine masculine and divine feminine energy working in harmony, and it's in Virgo, so it's a really grounded, methodical, systematic energy. So this is a great way to kind of push systems forward, push routines forward, get your shit done basically on this day. And then full moon in Aries means that you really are going to have a lot of energy. This is going to feel like a spark of life, because Aries is initiatory, and it's cardinal energy, and it's fire. So should be a really, really good day for you to shine, but shine in practical matters. On Friday, October 6th, we have Mercury, which is in Libra, quincunxing Neptune, okay? So again, Mercury is highlighting the energy that the sun just tapped into on the 4th. Again, looking at finding a way to integrate you and your relationships and your spirituality, and how those really navigate in your world. So you have another opportunity with this quincunx to Neptune and Pisces to address that. Now, Sunday, October 8th, we have Venus squaring Saturn, and also the Sun conjunct Mercury. Now, the Sun conjuncts Mercury pretty often because Mercury is so close to the Sun and it travels pretty fast. So this is always going to be a good day of, feeling like ideas are coming to you pretty quickly. Communications will go fast, but they'll be stable. And then since it is that Libra energy, you're going to probably find that your networking capabilities increase significantly around this time. So if you have opportunities to be out and go to events or what have you, definitely say yes to them and go out, because you might, meet some interesting people and some important connections. With Venus squaring Saturn, if you watch my other videos, you know that I like squares as well, because to me the energy is pushing you to move forward in ways that you know that you need to. And so when you have this energy around your values and money and self-worth, squaring up to, the disciplinarian, this really helps you to get yourself on point. So I think that if you, in any way, shape, or form, might have been having trouble kind of getting yourself, up to speed with the things that you need to work on, this should be something that helps to move you forward. Now, on Monday, October 9th, this is another important day for the month, because we have the Sun and Mercury squaring Pluto. So this is huge, because the Sun is our consciousness, Mercury is our mind, our intellect, and our communications, and it's squaring up to Pluto, which is about power and systems and control, security, all of that. So I would be curious to see how this is going to play out on the world stage. But in terms of you personally, I really think that this is about you coming into your power, probably having to set a really firm and hard boundary about what you will accept and what you will not, and possibly really moving forward on some big plans that day. So, it's going to depend on like what houses are being triggered for you, but this is a really important day. That Sun and Mercury energy is really going to put you on the map. Now, the next day is also another power day, because on Tuesday, October 10th, we have Jupiter actually entering Scorpio. And this is a great energy for Jupiter. And also Venus is going to be opposing Chiron. Now, Jupiter entering Scorpio, this transit is going to happen for the next 12 to 13 months. So he'll be there until November, the beginning of November of next year. So Scorpio has to do with massive transformation, either personally, health-wise, what have you. Scorpio also has to do with power, has to do with sexuality, spirituality as well too, but it's the more healing, deep, dark, kind of dark night of the soul energy. But having Jupiter here means that you're going to tap into or have access to more of the Phoenix energy of Scorpio. So this is really powerful, especially around money as well. So see where Scorpio is in your personal chart, because that is going to be highlighted and extremely blessed for you for the next year, actually. And then Venus opposing Chiron is telling us that, we have to really stay grounded as we go through this healing process, and to create and to maintain systems of support and new patterns of behavior so that we don't kind of get lost in the shuffle. Now, Wednesday, October 11th, we have Mars squaring Saturn, and then Venus quincunxing Uranus. So with Mars squaring Saturn, again, to me, this is a positive energy because it's pushing you forward to get the things done that you need to get done. And these are really supportive energies for moving projects forward. So, I think this is going to be supportive to you if you have like a big project or a deadline that you have to accomplish at some point in this month. Maybe use the energy of that day to help propel you forward. And then with the Venus aspect to Uranus, this is where you're looking at your values and your sense of self as it relates to your personal expression and identity. And seeing and knowing that those two can coexist, you can actually have an experience of life that integrates both of them. You don't have to compromise on those two. On Thursday, October 12th, we have Mercury sextiling Saturn. This is a supportive energy where your mind is in alignment with the discipline that Saturn is giving. So this is a really good day possibly to create new affirmations for yourself, new patterns of thought, possibly to create a new meditation practice. If you don't already have one, you can start it that day, or if you've been doing the same kind of thing for a while, this might be a good day to kind of switch it up. Now, Saturday, October 14th is another power day, so mark this one down especially. On this day, Venus enters Libra, so she returns to one of her home signs. Venus actually rules Libra and Taurus. And then we have Mercury quincunx Chiron. Now, Venus in Libra, the Taurus energy is more of the feminine expression of Venus, and the more human and material experience of Venus. But Venus in Libra is more the masculine, divine masculine aspect of Libra, and it's more the divine spiritual energy. So this is going to give you the higher frequencies of Venus while she makes this transit through Libra. So you should find that you might have more mystical experiences during this time period. And then especially with Mercury quincunxing Chiron, this may happen around healing. So you may have visitations with your ancestors come through in the spirit. Your dream life may really kind of pop up, and you might end up processing and healing a lot in your dreams. So make sure you're journaling during this time. Take note of what's happening and know that there's a beautiful support that's coming through with these energies for that. Now, on Sunday, October 15th, we have Mercury oppose Uranus and Mars oppose Chiron. Now, oppositions I like because, to me, they actually kind of feel like balance beams. You get to sit in the middle of the energy and see where your integration exists. So with having this opposition with Mercury and Uranus, which is in that Libra Aries axis, you should feel at this point that you have been able to balance how much you give and how much you receive. the relationships between yourself and others, how you show up, and how you also take care of the people that you're connected to. So this is going to be a great energy. And then with Mars opposing Chiron, this energy actually feels like Mars is going to be helping to transmute any of the remaining residual darker energies or self-sabotaging beliefs and patterns that you're trying to get rid of. So this is going to be really supportive for healing work. Now, our next power day is Monday, October 16th, because on this day, the sun is actually going to be sextiling Saturn. And the sun right now is in Libra, Saturn is in Sagittarius. This sextile energy is really nice and flow. You won't really have to work hard here. You can really just kind of feel like you're going down the lazy river of life and let these two massive beneficial energies help you and support you in moving life forward. So that should feel like a really, really good day. If you are having any kind of big event or possibly a meeting with somebody who's in a position of power, this looks like it's going to bode well for you in terms of how you are seen in their light, or the connections that they decide that they want to have with you. It kind of puts you on a equal footing, or at least garners a sense of respect to be considered for something. Now, on Tuesday, October 17th, we have Mercury entering Scorpio. So Mercury obviously is going to be joining Jupiter in this sign. And then we have Mars quincunx Uranus. So Mercury in Scorpio is really going to be good for helping you to navigate these deeper emotional waters that Scorpio can bring up. It's going to bring discernment and ability to process any shadow that you see, but also help you to tap into raw power to move your dreams forward. And in the Mars quincunx Uranus energy is essentially giving you an opportunity to kind of see where you may be holding punches between your self-expression and your goal, your drive, your passion. So, those two, they don't have to exist in different worlds. Maybe folks are used to seeing you show up in a certain kind of way, and you think that you can't live as joyously or vibrantly or powerfully as you need to, while still kind of maintaining the status quo. This aspect is asking you to kind of like look at that and question it at the very least, and at the most completely break through that and bring yourself into coherence and alignment with the truth of your heart. Now we have a power day again on Wednesday, October 18th, because we have Mercury conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter is the great benefactor in the sky, and Mercury again represents our mind. So these two in the Scorpio energy means that we are really going to have a chance to tap into that Phoenix aspect of Scorpio, as well as possibly have some good financial opportunities come through, or make some good money on this day. We also have Sun quincunx Chiron. So this is speaking to, your ability to reconcile the vibrancy of your being with your healing work, and understanding and knowing that you don't have to lose yourself. You don't have to sacrifice yourself in your relationships with others if there's healing work that has to be done. So for example, if someone is really kind of operating from a place of wound and trauma, obviously you want to work through that together and create new boundaries and have discussions about, shared needs. But you are also asked to make sure that you stay connected to what you need and not go into martyrdom or savior complex. Hold your light in the midst of these shifts. Another power day on Thursday, October 19th. We have the sun oppose Uranus. And also this is a day of the new moon in Libra, which is occurring at 12:12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I love this sun opposed Uranus because this speaks to me of gifts, surprise gifts, blessings, in terms of new contacts, people coming in, stepping in to help you out. Because it's in that Libra Aries axis. So yay, I wonder who's going to pop in for you. Check and see where these planets are for your particular natal chart, and that's where you're going to see something new bubble up for you. And in that new moon in Libra, in the days leading up to this, we are going to see some clearing work because the new moon is about clearing and getting rid of the old so that we can invite in the new. So this may really play out in your relationships. If it is in a negative context in terms of the newness with the sun opposed Uranus that kind of bursts through, this may speak to a relationship breaking down that needs to, because it's no longer serving you or supportive for you. So if that's the case, know that it is for the best, because, ultimately the sun and Uranus is about breaking new ground into something new that's going to be better. Now, on Sunday, October 22nd, we have Mars entering Libra, and then the sun entering Scorpio. So Mars in Libra isn't necessarily the strongest energy because Mars is not able to be as directed and focused as it would like to, because Libra is a dual energy. So that may be a hindrance for you in terms of your motivation and moving forward. But if it's not, especially if it's a positive aspect to your natal chart, then this energy will see you being more balanced and considerate of those that you're working with. You may find that your experiences with your coworkers, people that you're networking with, go a lot smoother now because you're taking into consideration the group needs. Now, with the sun entering Scorpio, this is a really nice boon because now your consciousness is kind of caught up to the other energies that started getting into Scorpio, and you are consciously going to be engaging and integrating with this powerful energy in terms of healing and transformation and wealth production and all of that. Now, on Monday, October 23rd, we have Venus quincunx Neptune. So again, looking at your personal values and healing and integrating those. Tuesday, October 24th, we have Mercury trine Neptune, which again is a powerful aspect of moving you forward in your healing work consciously. And then on Thursday, October 26th, this is a power day because we have the sun conjunct Jupiter in Scorpio. I love any conjunction, trine, sextile that the sun makes to Jupiter because this is blessings on blessings. So this could show up in powerful transformation, spiritual experiences, financial growth. All is available to you on that day, depending on where this is showing up for you in your natal chart. Now, finally, on Friday, October 27th, we have Venus squaring Pluto. So that means we have an opportunity to move forward in our values, our money, and our power, and be empowered in that energy. So that's a great day. And then Mercury sextiling Pluto. So this is your mind being in alignment with your heart and drive to move you forward. So that's all that's happening for the month of October. Real quick, I'm going to give you the info for the asteroids. Ceres, which represents the mother energy, you have in Leo for the entire month. Pallas, which represents the father energy, gives us Taurus energy in retrograde for the entire month. Juno, which relates to your partner energy, is in Capricorn all month. And then Vesta, and Juno is actually direct because she was retrograde before. And then lastly, Vesta, which is related to ourself and our personal power, is in Libra all month. So those are your goddess asteroids. See where those are falling in your natal chart to see how those are going to be supporting and affecting you. All right, so that's your read for October 2017, all of your major astrological transits. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, go to my website, innersunalchemy.com, and I would be more than happy to help you. Have an amazing month. There's a lot happening, a lot of power days, as you can see. So make the best use of them, catapult yourself forward, leverage that energy so you can move forward in your goals. And I'll see you next time, okay? Bye.